Now, Mr. Krieger, as you know, we're here today to discuss some unfortunate events. We'd like to take this time to talk about some of the lost, the ones we've lost along the way in our law school experience. Could you just take a few minutes and tell us about some of your experiences?
Yeah, sure. The first loss that sticks out in my mind was Robert Cash. Shortly after, he gave a very dramatic speech about how God has breathed breath into his old bones. Very powerful verse from Isaiah. He was, shortly after they're arrested, trying to buy alcohol with his flames pass. Dismissed from school. His parents had to come and get his stuff, move him out of Kevin Miller's house. Next, to take his place, we had David Keats.
Tell us about Mr. Keats.
Mr. Keats was a hardworking, dedicated individual. Loved the idea of family. Brought some family with him to class.
What family did he bring?
Well, it was his then fiance. They've since broken up. Tragic.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we all were. Keats loved his horses, man. He took care of them, groomed them, and he really had a thirst for knowledge as well.
Tell us a little more about perhaps his classroom performances and things of that nature, if you can, Mr. Krieger.
Well, the thing that really sticks out in my mind, I should say, was the day of midterms. Keats really was a believer in the early bird gets the worm, believed in the motto that, first one done gets 10 bonus points. He was a trailblazer, a real visionary. There was not a single exam that went longer than 25 minutes for Mr. Keats. And I'm sure that, I never read the exams personally, but I'm sure that they were just sprinkled with golden nuggets of knowledge.
How long did Mr. Keats stay in law school after midterms?
I never saw David Keats in law school after midterms.
Mr. Krieger, I know this is difficult for you to talk about, but have you heard anything about where Mr. Keats might be now?
It's been rumored that David Keats rides the rails. The Norfolk Southern. Excuse me.
Take your time, Mr. Krieger.
He's wise beyond his years. He grants knowledge to those who are just lost and looking for a way to deal with life. A transient, so to speak.
Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Krieger. I'd like to transition now and talk about another cherished son. Tell us a little bit about your experiences with Ian Allen.
Well, the first memory I have of Ian Allen was when he was running for SBA and give a speech like Barack Obama. And despite the lynch mob that was quickly forming outside of Dean Staver's office, he won election as our SBA senator. So many stories with Ian. Constant unpreparedness, fake notes to Joel Hesh about his motion to continuance, constantly getting up to use the bathroom because he had no idea what class discussion was about and tried to dodge the teacher's questions. Notes being passed back and forth about Mike Sandez and his cardigans. A post or a off-Broadway screenplay called Cardigans and Property, the Mike Sandez story, written by Ian Allen, Andy Brown, and myself.
When was that written?
It was written second semester of 1L year, in Property 2.
Mr. Krieger, thank you. We appreciate you coming in and sharing a little bit about your experiences here. This will serve as a wonderful memoriam for those who are no longer with us.
Before I go, I would just like to say that of all the 30 fallen, we will never forget. And we will always, always do it for Keats.
For David Keats.
is there anything you would like to say to Professor Bell?
Yeah, Professor Bell, I know you think I'm outside of the dress code 80% of the time, and you went on a 5-minute rant in class about my inappropriate pants that I swear are slacks, but you think are jeggings. So in the morning when I get dressed, I want you to know that I really do think about you, and I always say, WWBT, what would Belle think? And I know you'd hate these pants I have on right now. I don't know if you can see them, but they're slacks, Belle. These are slacks. That's it.
All night long, baby, slow down the song. And when it's coming closer to the end, then rewind. All night long, baby, slow down the song. Yeah, baby, slow down the song. Yeah, baby, slow down the song. If you want me, I'm accepting applications, so long as we can keep this record on rotation. You know I'm good with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Dog goes woof, cat goes meow, bird goes tweet, and mouse goes squeak. Cow goes moo, frog goes croak, and the elephant goes toot. Ducks say quack, and fish go blub, and the seal goes ow, ow, ow. But there's one sound that no one knows. What does the fox say? What the fuck say? What the fuck say? Happy, happy, happy ho. Happy, happy, happy ho. Happy, happy, happy ho. What the fuck say? What the fuck say? Big blue eyes, pointy nose, chasing mice and digging holes. Tiny paws up the hill. Suddenly you're standing still. Your fur is red, so beautiful, like an angel in disguise. But if you meet a friendly host, will you communicate by more? How will you speak to that? What does the fox say? What the fox say? What the fuck say? What the fuck say? What does the fuck say? The secret of the fox, ancient mystery.
Hey, big girl, make it bag it up. Yeah. Make it bag it up. Get up, get up.
All the shorties in the club, let me see your chest. Back it up, drop it down, let me see your chest. Get low, scrub the ground, let me see your chest. Push it up, let me see your chest. Wobble, wobble, shake, shake your chest, get in here. Wobble, wobble, chest, push it, get in here. Show me what you got, show me what you got, get in here. Show me what you got, show me what you got, get in
Hey,
here.
big girl, make it bag it up. Yeah. Make it bag it up. Hey, big girl, make it bag it up. Yeah. Make it bag it up. Hey, big girl, make it bag it up. Yeah. Make it bag it up. Hey, big girl, make it bag it up. Yeah. Make it bag it up.
Wait a minute now, wait a minute now, wait a minute now, wait a minute now.
baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Get it now. Yeah, yeah. 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 Hey, big girl, make 'em back it up. Yeah. Make 'em back it up. Hey, big girl, make 'em back it up. Yeah. Make 'em back it up. Hey, big girl, make 'em back it up. Yeah. Make 'em back it up. Hey, big girl, make 'em back it up. Yeah. Make 'em back it up. Back it up. Back it up.
He doesn't take cues. She's killing it. She's killing it.
Burned up. I'm good. I'm done. Get this man cold cut. Hey! Sweating. I need another steak. Eat through it. You just have to be like, nah, man. Up. Somebody! What? Come on! Hey, Parker. Oh, yeah.
It's always so you gotta call the next person.
Go ahead, Parker. Call somebody. Just give him the one. The white boy wants to.
Come on, Geiger.
Go ahead, Steve. No pop. Right, call somebody, Katie. Gotta do the wheel. Let's the wheel. Hey, you will, Brown. Oh. You gotta go slow. You go.
JB does this like running thing. I don't know how he does it. What is it that you
Hey, can you put Jock in? Yeah. JB, can you get Jock in? I'm not gonna kill the bird. Hey, throw your steak in here. Throw something. No, JB, put your hands on. It's not BJB. Boys, at least you get around. I'm just kidding. Come here. How about Stevie Mac on the track?
Yeah.
Hey, here's Lindy right here.
Moxie!
And Bill.
Got somewhere to go. Mr. Golf. He'll stand in there forever, but just super sweaty.
Wow.
You just know when she sits down here, Sweaty Todd was just all
Bad boys.
You guys
Big guy.
I'm soaked in sweat right now.
They're all cops, too.
I haven't washed this shooting sleeve in a year. Just really letting her have it.
The bow's gonna smell, and I have a problem
This
with
is
that.
how the beat goes.
Have you seen my dress?
You really hate that.
Come on. Let me see the hands.
I'm only one.
I'm excited.
Get off, Mitchburg.
I was too scared of trying to. It was just like.
I feel like you need to
Stevie, you need to.
This one goes out to all my comrades out there. Especially you, Keith, Allen,
There's only 2 left. This one goes out to the 3 remaining black students at Liberty.
Jackson, Martin.
We're doing it for kids. I'm gonna drop some light. No God.
Can I drop
Okay.
Joining us. Professor Clemens asked that we come and observe a very special tradition that he has prepared for us. Please take a screen. You will enjoy. Professor Plum, if you would take your position over here.
We're asking me to perform the what's
I am
in this
asking
room.
you. You have been preparing for months.
But cheer me up, sir. I'm very depressed.
I've never done so under these conditions. I need space. I need space. Do you hear me, sir?
Because you've got so need space.
Typically, a room requires let's deal with 1 to every 20 feet. And here I must do it in 1 to every 250 feet. This will be difficult, Mr. Watchman.
I have full faith in your skills, Professor Plum. Now, everyone, we need silence for this performance.
I need the bat hiss call.
And that is... Everyone, you have to do the back hiss call.
Oh, together. Together. Bats do not respond to applause, they respond to food. Food, food.
Thank you, Professor Plum.
Thank you.
Professor Crispin and I have had many a talk after class, not only about LLC and security regulations, but also how to properly burn off one's cattle field, how to rake and stack hay for the wintertime, how to castrate your steers if you're going to slaughter them down the road. So probably one of the most unique, that's probably one of the most unique things about Professor Crispin.
What is one skill or lesson you've learned from Professor Tamala?
I'll give you 2. 1, don't address emails with hey. Apparently that's how girls in the South address each other. And 2, this is the appropriate way to wear your tie. He's taught me how to dress appropriately.
What do you appreciate most about Professor Bell?
I appreciate how often Professor Bell feeds me because I never go hungry because she's always pushing Oreos and goldfish at me.
What is one thing that makes this professor unique?
The eye blink. It's the greatest thing about Professor Bell. When Professor Bell's flustered about something, she does this eye blink thing. She goes like... So, unless the eye blink is directed at me, I really love watching it.
What is your most memorable moment with or of Professor Bell?
It was last night, catchphrase. Professor Bell deliberately sat in a seat so she wouldn't be on my team, and then she lost 3 times, and my team won 3 times.
What do you appreciate most about Professor Sanders?
We're both little people. I appreciate the fact that we're both little people, and I think we have a common bond for that fact. But being little people, we both pack a pretty powerful punch.
I have a body for yoga, but I've never done it. Well, I certainly relate to that. I know exactly what he means.